I'm Roman Yossi of the Nashville Predators.
I'm Matt Duchesne of the Nashville Predators.
I'm Justus Aros of the Nashville Predators.
I'm Ryan Johansson of the Nashville Predators.
You're listening to the Renegades of Puck
with Crazy Charlie.
Welcome to the bunker. Welcome to the Renegades of Puck podcast. I'm your host and captain, Crazy Charlie Saunier. And before we get started on the No Half Step in Hockey coverage, let me direct you to our home website of renegadesofpuck.com. Once you go there, you'll learn everything you need to know about the Renegades of Puck. And once you get all good and educated, you can click on that merchandise tab. And that's where you're going to find our regular logo t-shirt, our Pride logo t-shirt, all of our special event t-shirts, and so much more. Don't forget, we still have all of the gimmicks. We have throw pillows, we have socks, we have wall art, we have bed sets. You can outfit your entire home and your entire body, and we would appreciate it if you would go ahead and do so. We've sold out so that you can buy in. Stick taps, love, and respect to each and every one of you who's picked up some merchandise here over the amazing holiday season. You can help us out by going to social media, and you can give us a like, give us a follow, a subscription, and you can do that on a myriad of different platforms. Let's start with Twitter, TikTok, Facebook. You can find us on all of those platforms, especially Instagram. You can follow along with the video format of the show on YouTube, the live streaming format on Twitch, the audio format on a myriad of different podcast platforms as well, including Stitcher and Spotify. We sure would appreciate if you would help us out on any or all of those different social media endeavors and platforms. It doesn't take you but a second, doesn't cost you a thing, but it sure goes a long way to helping out the Renegades of Puck. Now, if you'd like to become a partner or sponsor of the show in the year 2023, which is just a matter of minutes away, then you can go to Venmo and just search Renegades of Puck or scan the QR code that is currently right there on your screen. Thanks to generous renegades like yourselves, we have been able to upgrade significant amounts of our technology and significant amount of our equipment here in the bunker. So we sure do appreciate each and every one of you. Stick taps, love, and respect. And again, even $1 goes a long way when you're dealing with an independent operation like the Renegades of Puck. So again, thank you very much. It means a lot. It's helped us tremendously this year. Now it's time for the No Half Step in Hockey coverage, so let me deliver the goods. It's time for operation number 696. It's over there. Did I find it? Did I finally get to it? Operation number 696 for the Renegades of Puck. And we sure do appreciate each and every one of you for jumping in the trenches. Happy New Year. It's the final show of 2022. And again, we sure do appreciate each and every one of you for joining us along the way. And at this moment in hockey history, the Nashville Predators currently find themselves in 6th place in the Central Division. They've played 35 games on the season. They hold a record of 15, 14, and 6. 36 points has them in quite a bit of company, just around them, just 1 point behind the St. Louis Blues for 5th place, but they have played 3 less games than the St. Louis Blues. They're 5 points behind the Colorado Avalanche, and the top half of the division will remain unchanged. Dallas, Winnipeg, Minnesota's 1, 2, 3, then Colorado, St. Louis, Nashville, Arizona, and Chicago pulling up the rear. Arizona 5 points behind the Nashville Predators. The Chicago Blackhawks down there at 20 points, are 16 points behind the Preds. The Preds have scored 94 goals on the season. They've given them 107. They have a goal differential of minus 13. And on home ice, which is where their next game will take place at Bridgestone Arena, they hold a record of 8, 6, and 3. Now, once the Nashville Predators are finished with their next opponent, it's the first meeting of the regular season between the Nashville Predators and the Montreal Canadiens. Then the Preds will head out on an extensive road trip. Time to collect those miles. Thursday, they'll be in Carolina. Friday in Washington. The 9th of January in Ottawa. The 11th of January at Toronto. And the 12th of January, they will face off in Montreal against these very same Canadiens. So the Nashville Predators will be seeing Montreal both times this regular season within a span of just 6 games. So for the Nashville Predators, the next time they'll face off against the Canadiens is on the 12th of January, and that will be the final regular season meeting between these two teams. Now for the Montreal Canadiens on the season, 15, 19, and 3, only 33 points. That's last place, 8th overall in the Atlantic Division. On the road, they have a record of 8, 10, and 3. They have a minus 38 goal differential. And you know what? They had a reasonable road record. They had a reasonable overall record until this most recent stretch of hockey. These 7 straight road games for this Montreal Canadiens team has absolutely doomed them. Let's just go back and talk about this road trip for just a moment. On the 21st of December, a 2-1 overtime loss at the Colorado Avalanche. They followed that up 2 nights later with a 4-2 loss at the Dallas Stars, and then a 4-1 loss on the 28th at the Tampa Bay Lightning, then a 7-2 loss on the 29th at the Florida Panthers, and on New Year's Eve, a 9-2 loss at the Washington Capitals. Alex Ovechkin single-handedly beating the Montreal Canadiens on this one. So they have given up 16 goals in the last 2 games, 20 in the last 3, 24 in the last 4. I think you get the trend here. The Montreal Canadiens seem to be running out of gas on this road trip, and they will wrap up this road trip in Nashville against these Nashville Predators. Now, the rankings and the matchups between these two teams, there's not a lot of impressive statistical metrics here, and these teams actually match up quite evenly in several different categories. So let's take a look. Goals for Montreal's 30th in the NHL, 2.59 per game, while the Nashville Predators are 29th in the NHL, just one spot better at 2.63. That's a pretty even number right there. In goals against, the Nashville Predators are 16th in the NHL, 3.03 given up per game, while Montreal is giving up 3.73 per game. That's 29th overall in the NHL. Shots generated on the net, 30.9 for Nashville is 19th best in the NHL. 28.4 on net for Montreal is 30th in the league. When it comes to shots against, Preds are 26th, giving up 33.4 per game, while Montreal's 27th, giving up 33.7 per game. Now, when it comes to the special teams, it's highly unimpressive to talk about the Montreal Canadiens special teams, with the Nashville Predators, frankly, aren't that much better. Power play for Montreal, 32nd in the NHL. That's dead last, 15.5% conversion rate, 18 times out of 116 opportunities. Nashville Predators are 28th overall in the power play, 16.8% conversion rate, 20 conversions on 119 opportunities on the season. When it comes to the penalty kill, the Nashville Predators are rated higher, 17th overall in the NHL, 78.3% kill rate. They have given up 26 power play goals against this season. The Montreal Canadiens are 22nd overall in the penalty kill. They have a 74.6% kill rate, 34 power play goals given up on the season. Now, injuries for the Nashville Predators. Cole Smith is listed as day-to-day. Jankowski got into the lineup in this most recent game. We'll talk about that here in a moment. And then Jankowski had to leave that game injured. We do not know time frame or what the injury was on Jankowski, but he did leave the game, and we'll talk about that throughout the episode. Borowiecki, of course, still on injured reserve, and the television broadcast confirmed today that there is no timetable for his return. That's the first time I've actually heard someone say that out loud other than myself here since his injury. So Nashville Predators currently dealing with some role players and some injuries, but overall, through 35 games in the season, they are quite healthy. They had a couple of games there where the defense core was looking really rough, but for the most part, the Nashville Predators have maintained good health on this season. When it comes to the NHL, every team has incredible individual players, and that's why we talk about the individual stats and the scoring leaders from each team. Let's talk about the visiting Montreal Canadiens coming up here first. Suzuki, 15 plus 17 for 32. Those 32 points, of course, lead the Montreal Canadiens. And then you have Caulfield, 21 goals. That leads the Canadiens in total goals. 9 assists to go along with that for 30 points and puts him second on the team in scoring. Doc at 5 and 18 for 23. Those 18 assists by Doc lead the team by 1 over Suzuki. Monahan, 6 and 11 for 17. And Dvorak, 7 plus 8 for 15 in net. Jake Allen, who Nashville Predators fans recognize and know very well, 9-15-1 on the season is his record. 894 save percentage, 3.52 goals against average. Last place team goaltenders numbers are typically not very good, but Jake Allen has had a habit of playing pretty good hockey against these Nashville Predators teams. Speaking of Nashville Predators, Philip Forsberg now looking a little bit more impressive after this weekend's worth of hockey, picking up a total of 6 points over the weekend, 14 goals on the season, 18 assists total, 32 points on the season. The 14 goals passes Nino Niederreiter for overall goal leader on the Nashville Predators. Again, 14 leads the team. The captain, Roman Josi, has 8 goals and 20 assists for 28 points. The 20 assists leads the Nashville Predators by 2 over Forsberg and Granlund. Duchesne is third on the team in scoring, 10 goals and 17 assists for 27 points. Mikhail Granlund, 4 and 18 for 22. And Nino Niederreiter's 12 goals plus 6 assists equals 18 points. The starting goaltender of the Nashville Predators, UC Saros, had the day off, but went 12, 10, and 5 in the calendar year 2022, the first part of the calendar year for this season. 916 save percentage, 2.75 goals against. against Everton. You have to expect he'll be back in the net at home against the Montreal Canadiens on Tuesday night. That gets you all set up. Happy New Year, Renegades. Sure to appreciate each and every one of you jump in the trenches. That gets you set for that game. We got to go back and take a look at what happened on New Year's Eve with the Nashville Predators and the Vegas Golden Knights in Vegas, and we'll do that next with the Rebirth Sports full game recap. Rebirth Sports, check out their work, rebirthsports.com, or find them on social media, Twitter, Facebook, Instagram. Very easy to find them, and they're very interactive, very good people, and I certainly love having a partnership with that crew. You see me wearing the Renegades of Puck home jersey right here in the bunker. You see me wearing the road jersey, the third jersey, just last night skating with the Mighty Drunks here in Middle Tennessee in the Middle C Division. Got a chance to pull on the red, white, and blue Rebirth Sports Mighty Drunks jersey. Good looking threads out there at the rink. Got asked multiple times, where did that jersey come from? And I had to tell them, of course, because I love having the conversation. Came from Rebirth Sports. Sure to appreciate them. They take visions, make them reality, and they are certainly not jersey makers. They are hockey tailors. So check out their work, rebirthsports.com. And we go all the way back to New Year's Eve of the year 2022, and the Nashville Predators were in Vegas taking on the Golden Knights, and John Hines puts his lines in a blender, and this is what he comes up with today. Forsberg, Parson, and Sissons make up your first line. Trennan, Johansson, and Duchesne. Niederreiter, Glass, and Granlund. We have Jankowski in for Cole Smith, who is out injured day-to-day. Tommy Novak and Tanner Jeannot. Your defensive pairings are McDonough and Yossi, Ekholm and Carrier. Luzon and Fabro. Lankinen gets the start on the second day of back-to-backs. Less than 21 hours between the start and of the finish of the last game and the start of this game. Noon start time in Vegas. We're only 9 seconds into the game, and Lankin is coming with the first save of the game on Carrier. It's the first shot of the game, and it was a scramble of a save. You got to wake up quick on this one. 4:15 of the first period, Thompson makes a save on Niederreiter. 4:46 of the first period, Philip Forsberg's 12th goal of the season gives the Nashville Predators a 1-0 lead over the Vegas Golden Knights. He outweights Thompson while cutting across the top of the crease, and he waits, and he waits, and he waits, and he fires the puck into the empty net once he has Thompson down and out of position. His 12th goal of the season gives the Nashville Predators a 1-0 lead on the road. 6:17 of the first period, Lankinen comes up with his first great save of the game. 10:01 of the first period, Lankinen comes up with a save on Haig, plus a follow-up scramble. This one definitely looked like a dangerous situation. 10:59 of the first period, Thompson comes up with a save on Glass. Rebound swept from the danger area, but the shift is able to continue as Thompson was unable to control that rebound, and that leads all the way to 11:23 when Luzon gets his first goal of the season. It was a snipe bar down from the circle. He walked in. He had plenty of time to pick his spot, and absolutely what he did right there. Nashville Predators, 11:23 into the first period, have a 2-0 lead over the Vegas Golden Knights in Vegas. 12:39 of the first period, Lankinen comes up with a save on Pietrangelo. 13:30, Thompson comes up with a save on Forsberg. 15:56, Kolsar's fourth goal of the season gets Vegas on the board. Now 2-1 in favor of the Nashville Predators. This was a sweet redirect or a tip from the top of the crease of a shot that was going wide. He puts it behind Lankinen. Vegas is on the board. At the end of the first period, Vegas 13, the Nashville Predators 9, and that's the category of shots on goal. Nashville leading 2-1 at the end of 20 minutes. We go into the second 20, just 1:43 onto the clean sheet, and Amadio's fourth goal of the season ties the game up at 2 apiece for Vegas. It was 3 perfect passes that set this play up and absolutely put the Vegas Golden Knights in a perfect scoring opportunity right here, and they're able to convert. It was some incredible passing, ties the game up at 2 apiece. 4:03 of the second period, Lankinen comes up with a save, and he holds the puck through 6 to 8 chops while he was trying to hold on to it at the side, and then it ends up squeaking out loose there at the end, but he gets the whistle. Anyway, 4:55 of the second period, Thompson comes up with a save on Niederreiter after a great pass by McDonough. 8:01 of the second, Thompson comes up with a save on Niederreiter at close range. Niederreiter having a really good, strong game out there, bringing the jam. 8:30 of the second period, Kessel misses the net on a 2-on-1 glorious opportunity, but Vegas would follow up just 24 seconds later at 8:54 of the second period when Smith puts his 18th goal of the season into the net. Vegas takes a 3-2 lead on home ice, and shortly after the puck is dropped, we have Trennan versus McNabb. This all started when McNabb went shoulder into the head of Jankowski. Jankowski, injured, has to leave the game right here. Trennan goes ahead and takes McNabb on. The fight ensues. The fight wraps up. It takes a while to get the bookkeeping done, and this is the numbers from when it's finally said and done. Trennan off to the box, 5 for fighting, 2 for instigating a 10-minute misconduct. McNabb off to the box, box, 5 minutes for illegal hit to the head, 5 for fighting, and a game misconduct. So for the Nashville Predators, this shakes out to be a 4-on-4 for a full 2 minutes. But unfortunately, when they finally are about to get that 3-minute major power play, the captain, Roman Josi, is off the box 2 minutes for holding. It was an odd man rush heading towards the Preds net, and Roman Josi goes ahead and puts the arm around him. So we have another 4-on-4 situation for the next 2 minutes. Nashville Predators abdicating a really, really good scoring opportunity on this power play by taking a penalty. 16:06 into the second, decisions off the box, 2 minutes for cross-checking. Thompson comes up with a save on Duchesne at the end of the power play. A really good look for the Nashville Predators as time was expiring. We hit the end of the second period. Vegas is out shooting Nashville 20-17. We're into the third period, 27 seconds into the third. Lankinen comes up with a save on Carrier after a mix-up and a turnover behind the net between Carrier and Carrier. How could you possibly get yourselves confused in that situation when each team has a player by the same name? Lankinen gets mixed up right there and has to come up with a big save. 3:12 of the third period. Thompson comes up with a save on Niederreiter at close range again. Another opportunity for Niederreiter. 4:42. Stevenson's 10th goal of the season puts a tired Preds team behind by 2 goals. 4-2 now in favor of the Vegas. That incredibly tired Preds unit got caught out there on the ice after an icing, and it looked like on the second day of back-to-backs, the Nashville Predators were just simply out of gas. They were starting to be run around in their own zone. Vegas was starting to control the game, and now they take a 2-goal lead. 5:06 of the third period. Lankinen comes up with a save on Kessel at 6:30 of the third period. Carrier is off the box, 2 minutes for holding. Now that gives the Nashville Predators on the penalty kill. Again, 2 Carriers in the game, 1 on each team. Overall, a decent PK by the Nashville Predators. And after this penalty kill by the Nashville Predators, they're able to gain some momentum. 9:04 of the third, Lankinen comes up with a save on Kessel, but at 11:42, Forsberg, now his 13th goal of the season, second of the game. It was a low slot tip off of McDonough's long shot. At first, it looked like McDonough might have gotten the goal, but Forsberg definitely celebrated as if he had gotten it, and he does indeed get awarded the official goal, cutting the Vegas lead now down to 4-3, giving the Nashville Predators their third goal of the game. When it looked like they were on the ropes and out of this thing, Forsberg brings them back in and wakes them up. 12-13. Thompson comes up with a save on Glass, all alone in front with plenty of time and space. Glass, a good scoring opportunity. Thompson, a better save. 13:45 of the third. Thompson comes up with a save on Jeannot's jam. 18:07. Thompson comes up with a save on Jeannot. Again, jam 1, jam 2, jam 3. Thompson comes away with the victory in this exchange. 18:50 of the third period. Smith's off the box, 2 minutes for high sticking. Just a brutal high stick on Philip Forsberg. I mean, it was kind of scary for a second. Philip Forsberg turns out to be all right. Ends up only being 2 minutes. Honestly, probably should have been a 4 at the very least. Philip Forsberg would convert with 4 seconds left in regulation to tie the game up at 4 apiece. His 14th goal of the season, his third goal of the game. It's a hat trick for Philip Forsberg. His 14th goal of the season ties this game up at 4 apiece. It was a wrist shot from the high circle, and for the Nashville Predators, it looked like this game was over as they were failing to maintain possession with the extra attacker. But then Forsberg takes the puck into the circle, and he rips that puck into the back of the net. Improbably, a tired Nashville Predators team tying this game up with just 4 seconds to go in regulation. Of course, with the face-off at center ice, we go immediately to the overtime session. We're 32 seconds into the overtime session, and Philip Forsberg just misses scoring his 4th goal and ending this game, but he hits the inside of the post, and that puck finds its way all the way back far from the net. 1:23 of the overtime session. Lankinen comes up with a save on Carlson, but a 2:04 on a delayed penalty call with the extra attacker on. Haig finishes this game for the Vegas Golden Knights with the 2nd goal of the season, and the Nashville Predators fall to Vegas 5-4 in overtime. Nashville ends up outshooting Vegas 37-32. The Nashville Predators went from 17 shots on goal at the end of the second to 37 on goal by the end of regulation. A team that looked like they were on their dying legs early in the third period scraps, fights, and claws and gets a point out of this game, picking up 3 out of a possible 4 points in less than 24 hours on a quick Pacific Division 2-game road trip. Good job by the Nashville Predators to fight back and find a way. They easily could have packed those suitcases and gotten on home and gotten ready to celebrate New Year's Eve on Broadway or wherever it is they were going to head on out to tonight, but they didn't. They went out there and they went ahead and earned that point. Good job by the Nashville Predators. Philip Forsberg getting a hat trick. He's heating up right now. That's some thoughts we'll have during the analysis portion of the show. You hear the Renegades. They're out there celebrating. They're having a good time, and you should be. Happy New Year, everybody. We sure do appreciate each and every one of you. We love you. We hope you're having a great, safe, happy, healthy night. We hope the Renegades of Puck that were part of the infiltration party out there in Vegas, we sure hope that you guys are safe on your way traveling home right now. We'll see you guys back here in a couple hours. That's the Rebirth Sports full game recap. We got the Renegades of Puck, including Brian Baston, and analysis, opinion, stats, and all that coming up here in just a moment. Lankinen gets the start in this game. He takes the loss in the overtime session, but he ends up going 27 out of 32, 5 goals against overall in this game. But again, Lankinen, not a bad game, and he was able to keep the Nashville Predators in it there in the third period. When it looked like the rest of the team was running out of gas, he was able to maintain keeping the Nashville Predators in that game, and they're able to come back and fight for point. Lankinen, a big part of that. Not an impressive stat line, but he didn't have a bad game out there as well. And good job by the backup netminder to get the Nashville Predators a point against a first-place team and against a team they've had a lot of difficulty playing against ever since they first come into the league. Of course, immediately the conversation turns to Philip Forsberg. 3 goals on the day. He gets the hat trick, and he's catching fire. 3 points yesterday against Anaheim, 3 goals today against the Vegas Golden Knights. I think flipping the calendar over to 2023, Philip Forsberg is notorious for scoring in bunches and batches, and I think that that's exactly what we are about to see unfold in front of us. It's no doubt he suddenly goes from 26 points to 32 points in less than 24 hours, and from 11 goals to 14 goals. Good job by Philip Forsberg. He is putting on some incredible offense. That's exactly what the Nashville Predators needed. He disappeared, went dormant, went silent, went dark for 10 games there. Now it seems like he's back and getting hot. Matt Duchene also was starting to heat up here in these last couple of games for the Nashville Predators. These are all good offensive signs trending into the year 2023. And for the Nashville Predators, they were able to put up 10 goals in 2 games over the weekend. For a team that averages 2.63 goals per game, that was a really, really strong offensive output. So we need to take away the perspectives on the positive when it comes to what the Preds were able to do. Beating a team they were absolutely supposed to in Anaheim, and then at least taking away a point in a very hard-fought, difficult situation in Vegas. 3 out of 4 points over the weekend. Not half bad. Philip Forsberg, absolutely the main offensive reason the Preds were able to get that point here today. Luzon goes top shelf. Did you have that on your 2022 bingo card for the Nashville Predators? I don't think that you did. His first goal of the season, impressive. Took the opportunity, stepped in, utilized that space, moved in as close as he could, picked his spot, and just ripped it. And for Luzon, you know what? He gets a little bit of a bad rap, and he gets some talk, especially early in the season. People were very dissatisfied with him. That guy goes out there and plays some pretty good third defensive pairing minutes. Night in and night out, he's right there near the top, if not at the top, in hits. And considering he plays less time than most of the other players on the team, 14:04 in this game, 5 hits that led the Nashville Predators. Luzon gets a goal, leads the team in hits, and only skates 14:04, and he was not a defensive liability out there on the ice. I think Luzon is a fairly good player, and he continues to get better. Yes, he was not as crisp as he could have been, but nobody on the defense core, and certainly UC Saros wasn't the first month of the season. Now we're seeing the defense core starting to put together much more impressive games. Now the Jankowski injury, scary to see right there, shoulder directly to the head. He leaves the game, only 4:18 in total time on ice in this game. So Jankowski finally gets himself back into the lineup, and he gets injured immediately. The Trennan McNabb incident, it's a good job. I have no issue with Trennan taking the instigator right there, stepping up, protecting his teammate. It was a really vicious hit that left one of his teammates injured on the ice, and Trennan wanted to make sure McNabb paid the price for that. Trennan beat the dog out of McNabb in that fight, and then he took his 17 minutes in penalties, and he went sat until middle of the third period for McNabb. McNabb ended up with a game misconduct, illegal hit to the head. He'll have probably a league review. I would not be surprised if this comes back with at least a 1-game suspension. It was a pretty vicious check to the head. Honestly, the game's done a pretty good job over the last decade of getting a lot of that stuff out of the game. We don't hear illegal check to the head nearly as much as we used to. Does that mean it's gone from the game? Does that mean it's completely been eradicated? No, certainly not. It just doesn't get called as much as it has before, and the players have learned how to hit without going directly to the head. So we certainly don't hear that call as much anymore. This was justifiable. It was fairly clear as soon as I saw the incident live. That's exactly what I expected to be called, and that's exactly what Wes McCauley went ahead and called in that game. That point tonight for the Nashville Predators, that point came from deep. That was great compete level. The second day of back-to-back games, less than 24 hours between those games, going from playing against a last-place team to playing against a first-place team, certainly a different level, and your energy was depleted from one night to the next. You had to play a game, travel, go into a first-place rink, a lot of excitement. It's New Year's Eve. It's Las Vegas. The Golden Knights are a very good team, and it's tough tough to go in there and play. Despite the record that the Vegas Golden Knights have and some of the troubles they've had as of late, the Vegas Golden Knights play a very tough game on their home rink. And the Preds coming in the second day of back-to-backs, I thought they were cooked at the 10-minute mark of the third period. When they went down 4-2, I legitimately thought that they were cooked out there on the ice. But they weren't. They found a way. Philip Forsberg, 2 goals there in the final minutes of the game to go ahead and tie it up, force it to overtime, and get a point for the Nashville Predators. Now, the Preds have been to overtime 9 times out of their last 18 games. So the Preds are finding ways to pick up points, and now only 1 point behind the St. Louis Blues, and yes, 5 points behind the Colorado Avalanche. But these are the types of small goals that this team needs to have 35 games into the season, as they have not been consistent at any real point in the season. Win 2 or 3, lose 2 or 3. It's been around 500 for the record almost all season long. But the Nashville Predators wrap up the 2022 calendar year with 35 games played, and they have a record that is over 500, 15, 14, and 6, and that 6 represents 6 very important points in the standings. When it comes to overtime losses in the Central Division, only the Dallas Stars have the same number. Nobody else has 6. So the Preds are finding ways to pick up points even when they're not playing great hockey. So this point came from somewhere deep within that I wasn't sure that the Nashville Predators really could reach down and summon that level of jam. And to get that tying goal with 4 seconds to go, it's against the first place team. I put it up as a signature point, much like the New Jersey Devils comeback, late win was a signature win of the season. This was a signature comeback and a signature point. If the Preds could have went ahead and won this game, if Philip Forsberg would have not hit the post but scored his 4th goal in overtime to win it for the Preds, this would have been one of the signature wins easily of the season. A 2-goal comeback in the third period on the second day of back-to-backs would have been absolutely incredible. Brian Baston, he's got lots of stuff to file. He's got a report. He's moved up to Analyst 1 again for this episode. I sure do appreciate Brian for doing that. From ontheforecheck.com, you can find him on Twitter at Brian Baston.
For the final time in the year 2022, I'm Brian Baston here at the Renegades Analytics Desk, and I'm asking you all to indulge me on this one. Now, of course, I could talk about, some stat from tonight's game, a game that Nashville, maybe shouldn't have even gotten away with a loser point for, but lots of great things happened. And for today's one big stat, the last one of the year, I want to go back to a tweet that I saw just a few weeks ago that says, oh man, something great really happened in this game. I believe a player had a hat trick, like tonight, but they lost. And so it's kind of like, it's hard to celebrate those types of things when the game is a loss. And I can agree with that. But with Nashville's year in 2022, it's been slightly up and down. They've had 85 games, going 36, 40, and 9, including tonight, which isn't great. But there has been something that we could be happy about almost all year round, and that's going to be the topic of tonight's one big stat. Tonight, I'm going to talk about the one thing that can make any loss, no matter how bad, taste just a little bit better, and that's free food. That's right, I wanted to go back and look and see all of the free food deals that the Nashville Predators offer after games, seeing how often it's happened this year and how much calories we got from those. So let's take a look. First off, the obvious one, the one everybody knows, Frosties. Just like tonight, thanks to Philip Forsberg, the first star with his hat trick tonight, he scored the 4th goal to get the Nashville Predators fans a free Frosty from Wendy's. And in fact, in this calendar year, there have been 36 games where the Nashville Predators have gotten Frosties for the fans. They are 350 calories each, and so that comes out to a total of just over 12,000 calories for the year just in Frosties. Next up is the Moe's Queso. The Moe's Queso one is basically if the Nashville Predators win, then you get a small cup of queso, and that happened again 36 times. Those things are 568 calories apiece. So for the year, Nashville Predators fans got just over 20,000 calories from Moe's Quesos. Next is the Golden Goals from Hardee's. You get a free small famous Angus burger. That is for scoring a goal in the last 5 minutes of the second period. And actually, this has happened more often than I thought. It's happened 20 times, and those are 820 calories each, coming out to 16,000 calories. Next up is the Penn Station first goal of the game, and that actually happened 41 times. Out of 85 games, for it to happen half the time is pretty good. And those are 650 calories each, coming out to over 26,000 calories. Now, unfortunately, there's only been these last two rewards have only happened a couple times each. The first one is the twice daily free donut deal every time the Nashville Predators get a shutout, and that has actually only happened twice this year, back at the end of last season in March and April against coincidentally the San Diego Sharks, or San Jose Sharks, sorry. And so those are only 166 calories apiece, taking those to just over 300. And then the last is the Hattie B's hat trick, which again, Phil Forsberg got that for us, and that's 3 tenders from Hattie B's. That happened twice. Those are 790 calories each, coming out to about 1,500 calories. So, in review, the Nashville Predators in 85 games have given 137 different food giveaways over the course of this calendar year. They have given away, that is 78,000 calories of free food in 2022. And yes, again, despite the record, the disappointing playoff showing, all the things that have happened in this year, we always can be thankful about free food, and that's a whole lot of it. I'll take that pretty much any year. So that is the topic of tonight's One Big Stat, and we'll see you in 2023. Back to you, Charlie.
Stripe Digital Solutions is another great partner of the Renegades of Puck, and I sure do appreciate everything Stripe Digital Solutions does for us here in the trenches. Check out their work, stripedigitalsolutions.com, or online, Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter. You see the crest that is on the jersey right here. You see the logo on the wall behind me. The website, renegadesofpuck.com. Our social media and brand building plan, all of that is managed by and through Stripe Digital Solutions. We could not succeed on any level in the current world the way it functions without a strong digital partner, and Stripe Digital Solutions is the strongest digital partner. I urge and encourage each and every one of you to reach out to Brandy and start the conversation today. I think that my website is fantastic. My logos, my graphics, I think everything is wonderful, and that is because I have visions and ideas, and then they are whittled down by Stripe Digital Solutions into something that actually is coherent and makes sense on the screen. They do incredible work, and I encourage each and every one of you, check out Stripe Digital Solutions today. Let's take a look at the box score and go inside the numbers real quick. Philip Forsberg, 3 goals in this game. Of course, leads the Nashville Predators in goals. Luzon chips in with his first goal of the season. It was a snipe, and good job by the defenseman right there. That's your goal scores for the Nashville Predators. On assists, nobody with more than 1. 3 forwards, 3 defensemen. As the breakdown on the assists, Matt Duchene, Mikhail Granlund, and Colton Sissons each pick up assists in this game. Fabro, Yossi, and McDonough also pick up assists in this game. Great for Ryan McDonough. We thought he had his first goal as a Nashville Predator there. Turns out to have been tipped by Philip Forsberg. So 3 assists on the forward side of things, 3 assists on the defensive side of things, 3 goals for the forwards, 1 goal for the defense. That seems like a very equal game for this team. When it comes to shots on goal, Philip Forsberg not only scored 3, but he doubled that up with shots with a total of 6 for the game. Block shots, Nashville Predators working hard out there. The defense core, McDonough leads the team with 5. Ekholm follows that up with 4. Penalty minutes, of course, Yakov Trenin led the team in penalty minutes in this game. 17 total penalty minutes. Only 2 other minor penalties in the game. That was to Alex Carrier and also to the captain, Roman Yossi. And when it comes to time on ice, I just wanted to highlight again, Jankowski's injury really set the forward grouping off a little bit, only 4:18 in total time on ice. So second day of back-to-backs, and you're also dealing with one of your forwards going out of the lineup early. When it comes to time on ice leaders, though, for the Nashville Predator, on forward, Mikhail Granlund, 21:56 total time on ice. And on the defensive side of things, the captain, Roman Yossi, 25:57. He led the overall team in total time on ice, as he usually does. In net, Kevin Lankinen, 27 out of 32, 5 goals against. That takes care of the box score and gets you all caught up on the official numbers from the Nashville Predators versus the Las Vegas Golden Knights. On New Year's Eve, Nashville Predators come away with a hard-fought point in that game against the first place Vegas Golden Knights. I'm Crazy Charlie Saunier, captain of the Renegades of Puck. I'm also tired of the cold, tired of the dark, and tired of being landlocked. I'm also willing to bet that I'm not the only one who could use some sun, fun, and time in paradise with friends. That's exactly why I called our great friend Pete Weber. He told me, call Ships and Trips Travel, and now we're all going to Mexico. That's right, Renegades of Puck, July 15th to the 20th of 2023. Dreams Vallarta Resort in Puerto Vallarta is the destination to hang with Pete Weber in paradise. To join Pete and the Renegades of Puck in Puerto Vallarta, go to www.shipsandtripstravel.com. That's shipsandtripstravel.com, and just click on the ROP on vacation tab. Don't stay landlocked. Join the Renegades of Puck in paradise, July 15th to the 20th, 2023 in Puerto Vallarta. Pete Weber, the Renegades of Puck, and you. It's time to ditch those skates for flip-flops and fun in the sun. You may have noticed in this episode, I'm wearing the Mighty Drunks jersey in this episode of The Bunker for the Renegades Puck on episode number 696. Well, there's a good reason for that. This weekend, I am taking my final lap for the Mighty Drunks, a team that I have been with for largely 7 years now, from the United States Pond Hockey Championships and multiple Stanley Keg Championships. We have represented here in the Middle Tennessee Recreational Hockey Division extremely well over the last 7 years. And as you know, we will be splitting off and forming our own team, the Renegades of Puck Hockey Club, starting play in 2023. Well, for this weekend, it was time to go back to the Wish Cup, and it's time to skate for the Mighty Drunks one last time. It's time to take my final lap. Game 1 today over at the Gary Force Acura Ice Arena in Nolensville. And Yuri, you know my man, he had us all set to go. Once Yuri had the skates sharpened and we put the puck down on the first round of the Wish Cup in the C Division for the Mighty Drunks, it was an early tournament instant classic. 7-6 shootout victory for the Mighty Drunks over the Trash Sharks. I had an opportunity to take the third shot in the shootout. Forehand, backhand, but well scouted out by old man Walt. He was waiting for me over there on the post. Couldn't get the lift on it. I was looking for. I was a little bit slow. Legs felt a little bit heavy in this game. The first day of the tournament, the Mighty Drunks, they'll come away with a 7-6 win. We come away with the 2 points, and we'll move on to tomorrow and the rest of the round-robin tournament. 2 more games on Sunday morning, and then we'll have the seedings, and we could potentially have 2 more games on Sunday evening. If the Mighty Drunks are able to win 4 games tomorrow, they will be Wish Cup champions to start the year 2023. So I get to end the year and start the year by playing hockey in the Wish Cup, and I get to end the year and start the year by being here in the bunker with the Renegades of Puck talking about hockey. I gotta tell you, Renegades, it's exactly what I've always wanted for my life. No problems for me being in the bunker on New Year's Eve talking pucks with you guys. I love it. It's my passion. It's what I live for. It's what I do, and I can't wait to get back on the ice tomorrow. Won some face-offs, made a couple of good passes, led a couple of breakouts, and mostly was a good defensively responsible two-way center. When it comes to these tournaments, you throw a team together for a couple of days, suddenly 12 players have to gel and become. Somebody's got to slip in there and do the little things and bring the jam, and that's exactly what I do. Set a good screen tonight on the 6th goal, and that ended up really helping the team go a long way to securing that victory. Really wish I could have converted on that shootout. Went with my ace move and really would have helped the team. I could have secured us the victory right there, but our goaltender Ethan went ahead and stopped all 3 shots in the shootout, and the Mighty Drunks come away with a 7-6 shootout victory. Again, 2 more games tomorrow to determine the seedings, and then we'll have the championship bracket take place tomorrow evening. So 4 games possibly for me tomorrow at the Gary Force Acura Ice Arena. I'll be back right here Tuesday night to recap everything that happened with that. And listen, it's time to close things out. It's time to wish you Happy New Year and tell everybody thank you so much. And I definitely have to send a special thanks and stick taps out to our Renegade infiltration party that went into Vegas and was at the game today against the Vegas Golden Knights. I sure do appreciate each and every one of you, and I certainly wish I could have been there with you. But in spirit and through help of the broadcast, the Renegades of Puck were represented incredibly well in Vegas.
So it is Forsberg and Lausanne for Nashville, Colasar for Vegas. There are a lot of Predator fans here. In fact, we got notified this morning by the Renegades of Puck that they would be infiltrating the building. You see some gold jerseys there.
I love it. Good group right there. Obviously love the Renegades, Crazy Charlie and company. And I'll tell you what, we got the best gold going. The Golden Knights.
Not only did Willie and Mace talk about the Renegades of Puck on the broadcast, but we were shown in photo form during the broadcast, and we were also placed on the scoreboard and welcomed in by the Vegas Golden Knights. Stick taps to you, Vegas Golden Knights. You knew the infiltration party was coming. You welcomed us with open arms, and we sure do appreciate that. We like that sort of straightforward relationship, and hey, maybe we can form some sort of alliance between our shows here in the future. Good times today, and we sure do appreciate each and every one of the Renegades of Puck, and we sure do appreciate Ships and Trips Travel for making that happen. Of course, you know, we have another huge event coming up with Ships and Trips Travel, so we hope you'll join us again. So thank you so much. Appreciate everybody on the Predators broadcast for mentioning the show and for giving us a little bit of love here on New Year's Eve. That sure did feel good as I was sitting back here in the bunker and making my notes. Willie, you may you may have earned your stripes on that one. C. Mace already has multiple jerseys, so maybe I'll get you one. We'll see. Feeling good. It's New Year's. Feeling really good. That's a great close to the year 2022 for the Renegades of Puck, and just an indication of the beginnings of what we can start to accomplish in the year 2023 with your support and with each and every one of you. I am so thankful to have each and every one of you here in the trenches. The trenches are open to all, and you have jumped in and you have followed along, and it has been incredible. I'm so appreciative. 1.4 million replays, downloads, and interactions by the end of the calendar year 2022 is our best year in history for business by a wide margin. So we are looking forward to new heights, and we are looking forward to new plateaus, and we are looking forward to new peaks to try to climb and to look towards and to start making our way to the top. The essence of No Half Steppin' resides right here in the bunker, and the Renegades of Puck will continue building, growing, doing things that no other show has ever even considered doing before. So follow along and jump in the trenches with the Renegades of Puck. Happy New Year, everybody. We sure do appreciate each and every one of you. Take a couple of days, get some rest. We'll be back Tuesday night, Nashville Predators against Montreal at Bridgestone Arena for each and every one of the Renegades of Puck. I'm your host and captain, Crazy Charlie Saunier. Stick taps, love, and respect.